All right. Friends, fans, followers, leaders, and true believers. This is Josh O'Brien. Welcome to another episode of Civilianization. If you don't know that, that's what I'm doing. Kind of going Facebook Live right now on a solo thing. And there's a lot of things happening, going on. If you haven't checked out the podcast, you don't listen to it or whatever, you might want to check it out. But I just wanted to say thanks. There's a lot of cool things that's been happening. And really humbled to have been did comedy or did a guest speaker spot at the Navy Seabee ball. A lot of people that I've served with and stuff like that wanted to know exactly what the speech is. So I was like, you know what? I will actually do it. Here it is. So, and the crazy thing is, I never ever thought that I'd be doing what I'm doing. And I'm not famous. I'm not making a lot of money. I'm just living, trying to keep my head above water. You know, I mean, a lot of things too is we grow and we move on and we do different things from what we did before, and just try to stay, positive mental attitude, and try to stay happy, and try to stay healthy. And it's easy to let those things go sometimes. Just try not to do that. But so with all that going on, what I've said, I think we might be able to run into this. Here we go. We'll pull it up. So this is basically the thing I did at the CB ball, and thanks again for having me. It really meant a lot. And then also it's looking like I'll be the MC in China Lake for the next one, 2020. It sounds like I'm running for president or something, which I will never do. But anyways, so this is what I said, and I really appreciate you once again for having me on there. I know I said it too much, but I'll say it again. Thank you. I want to start this with the President John F. Kennedy quote. Any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think he can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction, and I served in the United States Navy. So true. Be proud. And that, folks, is just serving the United States Navy. It's almost impossible to say how it feels to be a United States Navy Seabee. It's hard to look at the forest through the trees, but when you're out of the woods, you can see just how massive that forest is. The impact that you have on the world, or the troops that will make the impact through your leadership's ripple effect over time, you guys and gals are amazing. The Seabees aren't known by everyone, but everyone that knows of us loves us and respects us. If you talk to a vet from World War II until present day, they will... So this is the problem with doing something live. You can't go back and edit it. You know what I'm saying? I fucked it all up. All right. Yeah, what's that? Fuck it. We'll do it live. That's how I feel right now. That one, I forget who did it, man. And I know probably 50 people are going to message me right now, and I'm surprised my phone isn't pinging off the thing. But, okay, we'll do it live. All right. So anyways, let me start this whole freaking thing over again. Good times. But I can edit the other one out. I can't edit the live one. So here you go. I want to start this off with the President John F. Kennedy quote. Any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make this life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction, and I served in the United States Navy. It's so true, and be proud. And that, folks, is just serving the United States Navy. It's almost impossible to say how it feels to be a United States Navy Seabee. It's hard to look at the forest through the trees, but when you're out of the woods, you can see just how massive the forest is. The impact that you have on the world, or the troops that will make the impact through your leadership's ripple effect over time. You guys and gals are amazing. Seabees aren't known by everyone, but everyone that knows of us loves us and respects us. If you talk to a vet from World War II until present day, they ask what branch we're or are you in, and our response is Navy. But when you say Navy Seabee, especially to a former Marine or any other combat veteran, you can see their face light up with joy and almost immediately offer a great unsolicited story about how they have seen or heard Seabees can build, fight, or steal, or as we like to call, skillfully acquire, just about anything to complete a mission, because we can do just about anything with just about nothing. I sometimes thought throughout my career the unfortunate underfunding was training because I honestly believe there isn't another organization, not military nor civilian, that can do more with less. There are entire seawalls built with recycled concrete forms, reused nails, and acquired duct tape, vehicle engines surviving on pop cans and garden hoses. Can do is our motto. Only because it's faster to say than necessity is the mother of invention. Tell a bee what you want done or what you need done, and we'll surprise you. Just don't ask how. You might not want to be that surprised. And speaking of surprises, we continue to surprise the world and ourselves. It's easy to say that the next generation of Seabees isn't as good as the last, or I can't believe troops talk like that now. But I didn't forget how I acted and talked when I came in, and I know a lot of you guys don't remember that shit either because I get messages. But I didn't forget how I acted then either. So the World War II generations were surprised by what the Vietnam bees did. Vietnam bees are surprised by the OEF bees did. I honestly can't wait to be surprised by your guys' actions. And the major challenges we bees consistently face, and you standing the watch now are facing, is we're an accordion force. We expand and contract depending on the mission. It's not as simple as most units in the military because their mission is somewhat consistent and usually the same. Only their gear slightly changes from time to time. Our mission changes like the weather. Well, maybe not the weather in San Diego, but like the Midwest. Being a small force, we not only pass on to the sentry that relieves us, we have to create an impact that passes on beyond their relief. Being in the Seabees is like being from a small, proud town. Our high schools didn't have names, but letters and numbers. Our classes were camps and fobs. Our principals were skippers. Our sheriffs weren't DMAs, but the S3 Charlies. And we don't know everyone from our small town, but we know someone that does. Usually that's a good thing. Sometimes, not so much. But good luck with that with any other branch of service or the fleet. Do you know HT1 so-and-so? And you'll know how good of a do you know HT1 so-and-so? But if you said that about SW1 so-and-so, you'll know how good of a welder they are, as well as what hometown they're from. Then you'll find out they have 147 mutual Facebook friends. Speaking of Facebook, if you're watching this live right now and me fumbling through this shit before I edit it, good for you. So if you're Facebook friends, speaking of Facebook, there are a lot of negatives dividing things going on in the world right now. But as long as you wear or have worn a Seabee, we're all in the same family. The determining factor is capability and compatibility. Diversity is an amazing thing and embraced especially in the galley on deployment. Since we're all from the same small town or small Seabee community, whatever, the truth about it taking a village to raise a child is as relevant now as ever. You guys are our future. The person that relieved my watch, is here today, or was actually at the time I wrote this, as I did my best to relieve those that went before me and leave a big ripple to help the future, as well as pass on to the Leadhams, the Yinglings, the Mersneys, and the Heiners ripples effects. One day you will put away the uniform, but for the rest of your life, you will wear the bee not over but inside of your heart. We've unfortunately lost some great people, but we can prevent that by never forgetting our family, our village, our small city around the world. We're the Seabees of the seven seas, man. We're the best at what we do, period. Can do. With that being said, I've drank with Lemmy, man. I smoked with Snoop. I'm here at the Comedy Store. I run into Chappelle and Attell, both the Daves I really like. And the best thing I've ever done, I still think, was serve. Man, I mean, there's nothing fucking more cooler, more rock and roll than that. Because if you do that, and this is obviously not part of the speech, but if you did that, there's not a whole lot of people that can actually say that they did. And the problem that a lot of people have is, and I constantly get asked this because I'm in the public eye now, between doing this comedy thing and then doing the radio thing and whatever, and doing a couple shit things here and there. But you guys need to know that when you're done you're not done with life. You're just done with the thing that you did, and it was an awesome thing. But it's always going to be a part of you, but it shouldn't be your complete identity. But it'll always be a part of your identity. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel like this is the only moment in your life. You're gonna be Al Bundy talking about the touchdowns he scored, and that's it. Which, it's cool to be proud of what you did and where you are, but I'm saying don't constantly live with that's just you, because there's a lot of times there's this hard time vets understand it. If you're not a veteran and you're watching this, you there's this thing where people are trying to figure out who the fuck they are, because you're going from this thing that you knew exactly where you stood physically, you knew mentally where you stood, you knew exactly what was going on every day. You knew on the 1st and on the 15th you're getting a paycheck, and you know that. If you're in uniform right now, you get it, you know it, you're getting paid, and you don't have to worry about these things. But there's like the skill set, and it's like the longer you go, it's just like, how people are married if they're with a girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever for a couple months, then, after a couple months, they get over it really quick. But like the longer you do, the longer you're used to this identity, and it's kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And if you don't set yourself up to figure out what are you going to do next, then you're just going to kind of keep pulling yourself in, and you're going to feel like you're worthless, and you're not worthless. You're still worth a lot. And the thing is we don't see the phone stops ringing. You don't have a platoon commander calling you, or a squad leader calling you, some junior troops asking for advice, or some junior troop you got to call and fucking put a knot in their ass and tell them to shut the fuck up and keep your head out of your ass. You don't have that anymore. So a lot of times you just kind of think that you went on your own, and that you were completely meaningless. Which you don't realize, though, is if you did it right, even if you did it wrong, what you left behind will always be there. But you can't go back and erase the past, So if you left a good impression on a troop, they're still fucking out there going through their shit, and it's still going to mean a lot to them. And and I fucked up. I'm not going to say I'm a saint. I've made mistakes that I know people would probably say I would never want to feel like that. And that's the whole, I think, poor leadership you walk away from with as much of an impact, if not more of an impact, than good leadership. Because a lot of times in the long run, you're still fucking never want to feel that way. You never want to make somebody feel that way. And I know I'm kind of going on a rant on that. But the thing is, going back to the whole deal is, keep an eye out for each other, take care of each other, take care of yourself, all that other fun shit. And I'm sure you heard it a bazillion times. But the thing is just remember that just when you put the uniform away, or you left the command and you're starting over at a new place, you're not worthless, man. Just you're repurposed. Find your fucking purpose, Might not be me, but somebody loves you. Figure out who the fuck it is. I'm just kidding. I love you. All right. So anyways, it's be kind of quick, kind of short, and let me just check if I had any, because I had a couple questions. My favorite deployment. Okay, one of my favorite deployments I've ever had was, believe it or not, Pohang, Korea. And this is why. When I was in Pohang, Korea, it was definitely a fucking crazy ass shithole. But the thing I loved about Pohang was that there was I just got off restriction. Okay, so I did 45, half month's pay, reduction in rate, suspended, and I made second class while I was on restriction. And I've actually had Austin Leadham in here. I'd love to talk with Mike Sigler, but those two guys, I can't say thank you enough, because I was supposed to get busted down and I didn't, thank God. But if I fucked up for 6 months, then I would have got busted down from E4 to E3. And but the results came out. I made second class, and while I was on restriction, I basically, I don't want to say Navy jail. It's not like Navy jail. It's just restriction is kind of self. It's by definition what it is. You're restricted to do shit. You got to go march everywhere and blah blah blah. But anyways, they put me in line, and when it came time to frock and wear the crows, and then they just said, "Oh, Brian, get up here," and then go up and stand up here, and I did, and they pinned me to second class, and then I was in, and I did some dumb shit, I did some dumb shit in Okinawa. I owned it, and that's the best thing you do. Another thing too is like two things that I think is the best thing that I've ever learned, and I hope you can take this with you, is that if you fuck up, own it. Don't try to fucking fight it. I mean, there are certain things obviously that you're gonna need to fuck up, and the best thing to do is just get the shit over with. Just be like, yeah, I fucked up, and then move on. That's it. Go ahead. Also, if you got a troop that's fucked up and they're worried and they're gonna go see the man, and they're like, I think I fucked up. Tell them they did fuck up. Don't be like, you're gonna the every time you're in trouble, there's always almost everybody will be like, don't worry about it. You could probably beat it. Yeah, the only one person that fucking beats it was in like Da Nang, and that was back in Vietnam. That was a long time ago. So they only beat whatever case it was. So always be honest with the troop. And that really helped me out a lot. So I fucked up. I did my shit, did my 45 days. It was the craziest, insane restriction ever because it was like nonstop laughing. It was Anderson and freaking Heath Dinius and a couple other people. And all we did was we fucking raised hell while we were on restriction and got drunk and did dumb things that we probably shouldn't have done. But it was fun, and that's what we did. But anyways, so I get off restriction. And I get frocked to second class, and I was squad leader. But the thing was, while I was on restriction, I was still teaching warfare classes. What the fuck? So it was cool. So I go to Pohang and Pohang, however you say it, and it was just all big boy rules, and it was great because you just had it was like the shittiest living conditions. It was pretty rough, it was cold out, and the bathroom wasn't even the same building. You had to actually go outside to a whole other building and freeze your ass off to go there, but it was great. And so that was one of my favorite ones. So let's see here, let's go back here, blah blah blah. Oh, ha 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 ha. Oh man, good times. Oh, let's see here. This is crazy, man. I can't talk about that. I can talk about this though, is that listen. All right, so I will talk about this. Fuck, I don't care. All right, so they're like somebody wrote a thing about buy me drinky girls, and that's funny. But here's the thing. Buy me drinky girls. So you go to like these foreign countries, right? And I don't know what you call them. Like that's basically the slang. I don't know. It's kind of like it's not an escort, but it's a girl that you freaking buy a thimble of water or whatever rubbing alcohol that they're sipping. And the thing is it's just basically what happens is you have somebody that just wants to hang out and wants you to spend money on them, and there's just basic company while you're hanging out in a lot of these clubs. But what happens is you got to watch your kids, man. And I say kids as in troopy troops because like some people get emotionally attached to these people because they actually think that I'm not saying they're not real people, but they're actors in a sense. They're pretending like they give a shit about your words, but what you're doing is you're just paying for their time. It's the real life version of a 976 phone number. So you're just paying to talk to somebody. That's all that shit is. So it's like they come with the little thing and you're drinking, and then you get a little bit and you talk and blah blah blah, and by the time they're out of money, they're at another table. It's basically like a verbal lap dance. That's all it is. They're just talking to you, and so avoid that shit. If you're that lonely, I mean, Skype somebody. Holy shit. But I love her. Oh yeah, there's the best part. So what does happen? I'm glad you said that, Jessica. But the funny thing is that happens is I won't say names, but I remember I was in 5 battalions, so I can say I was in battalion, and I had an EA, which is an engineering aid, and there's this girl. She was the best thing that ever happened to him. She was perfect, and oh man, it's probably the first person that ever blew him, I guess. But what I'm thinking happened was, It's probably, I'm thinking that he's just getting worried that, oh, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life or something. Somebody finally had some attention for him. And I was probably the first girl to make him come. I don't know. But the thing happened was he ends up falling in love with this girl, and I get it. Like, I'm not saying don't fall in love with somebody overseas or anything like that, because a lot of people have met their wives and significant others over there, and that's cool. Just don't just kind of know your source, man. You're not going to try to go to Wikipedia for all your good intel, are you? So don't go to the fucking buy me drinking girl and you got to spend $10. Do you have to buy her drink? I don't know. If you married a buy me drinking girl and you brought her back to the United States, do you think there's not going to be a prostitution ring that breaks out in housing? Because that's happened before. It's crazy. Don't do it. All right. Who else? No, they never called me caveman. Oh, I know who they're calling caveman. Caveman, that guy. I remember we had this one guy from Alaska. The guy, we called him caveman. He was a good dude, and it was just fucking funny. I don't know how he was in the military as long as he was. He probably is a fucking master chief by now, to be honest, the way things work sometimes. But no, he's a bad motherfucker. It was funny because he always had some crazy shit going on. Anyways, Jesus Christ. Oh. All right. So, I don't know. Before I go, I just want to say, man, keep looking out for each other. Keep watching out for whatever the fuck is going on. And remember, you're not fucking worthless, because a lot of times you fools, and I say that because I am in that group too, a lot of times you just feel like you felt like you feel like you've done your time and you're not worth anything anymore. It's like, God damn it, you are. It's just you're not doing the same thing anymore. You've moved on. You're in a whole nother arena. You just got to figure out what the fuck your purpose is now, man. It's kind of a pain in the ass, dude. And trying to figure out who the fuck you are after all this other shit, it's hard enough when you're 16, 17, 18, trying to figure out what you're going to do next. And then you're a grown ass fucking man or a grown ass woman or a grown ass whatever the fuck you want to be. Now you can be a combination of both and nobody cares because it's politically correct to be that way. And it's cool. Shit, I'm in West Hollywood right now. It's definitely cool to do that here. But do whatever the fuck you want, but figure out who the fuck you are, man. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to repurpose yourself. Okay, so the banana show. I'll tell you about the banana show. All right, so I probably shouldn't get into this. What's happening? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm doing that right here. Thanks. Oh, perfect. All right, so the banana show. So the funniest part is oh man. First I got to tell you sad news before I go into the funny news, okay? The sad news is the club that used to be the President's Club. A buddy of mine there was this fucking what are those things called? I wish somebody was here so they could answer my question. All right, what are those little things called that are like this tall? And they're in front, garden gnomes. So there's a garden gnome. It got stolen from one of the Chiefs' mess, I think in Guam or Spain or no. It was stolen from the mess in Spain, and they fucking bound it with rope and all this other shit, and they sent it like all over the place. And it's supposed to be a Chiefs thing, but I'm borderline doing Chief shit, so I never made a chief. I made a lot of chiefs. I never made it myself, but I made a lot of them. So they sent it to me, and what I did was I had some of my troops like stand in line with this garden gnome, and like they were in Whisper Alley. Whisper Alley was this road in Okinawa where it was just like, hey, showtime, where it was like basically like an outdoor brothel, and it was disgusting. Like, I don't know how many times you would wait for your friends. Like, God damn it, like I had a high school sweetheart. I really wish I wasn't that pussy with, but I was a fucking kid. I was a teenage kid. I was in love with a girl named Heather from my hometown, and I wasn't gonna fuck around on her. You know what I mean? But that was a dumb mistake. Because most high school sweethearts, 99.9% of the time, it don't fucking work out. We're best friends now, but dude, don't make allotments to fucking chicks from your hometown. I'm glad I never did it, but I've seen people do it. Don't fucking do it. Um, but anyways, so you had Whisper Alley, and at the end of Whisper Alley was the President's Club, and then I also took bananas and I put them all over this garden though, and I had them in front of the banana show place. And all right, so what happened is there'd be a lady that came out and she would ask you to throw quarters and stuff like that. So everyone would have like quarters and they'd throw quarters on the stage and shit like that. And she would take them and she would make a nice little stack and she would get a beer bottle and then she'd put them like right here and then she would lower herself on them and yeah, like that. And she would pick up the quarters and then well, I said a lady. I say it loosely, okay? But anyways, so she walked over and then you ask her like you didn't really ask her. She would ask you how much change you wanted, and she would end up dropping like say $1.50, 6 quarters would fall. It was interesting. It's kind of spooky. And I'm from Ohio, from a fucking small town, by the way. So when somebody's like, hey, you want to go to the banana show? I'm thinking a farmer's market. I'm not thinking this shit. I'm thinking I'm going to a farmer's market. I don't fucking know. Maybe at a flea market or some shit. But anyway, no. The banana show, that's what that was. After the whole thing, yes, exact change, Jessica Alt. So like after that happened, she would take bananas and then she'd peel them and then she would insert them into herself. And then 1, 2, 3, hi! And then she would launch a fucking like a piece of banana. And I remember one time it hit my buddy in the forehead and it fell into his beer. And those beers are like $12 fucking dollars, you know? So, I mean, just so you drank them. And that's how craft beer was invented. And that's how banana beer came about. Okay, I made that last part up. But anyways, yeah, so there's your banana show. It's pretty freaky. But here's the funny thing. Like, you know, you never forget. There's always going to be like Booger Girl or Shit Boy. Like, Booger Girl is always the girl from school that ate her boogers. Or Booger Boy. I'm sure you have Booger Boy, whatever. And you always have the person that peed their pants. And that, you know, you will always remember the people from 3rd grade that did that. It's things that we all did, but just they were the ones that got caught. Well, you'll never forget who ate the banana, because what would happen is they'd take like a little sponge and they'd have it on the stage, and you know, dude or girl, it's happened both ways, would lay down and they would receive a banana in the mouth. So, man, insane. Good times, crazy times. Yeah, but it is what it is. All right, so like, who's got anything? Go ahead, fucking, let's do this shit. Let's interact with you guys. I've been trying to. Nope. Okay. All right. So okay, from the messenger. Um, do I miss it? Yeah, man, I do miss it. I missed it. I missed it before I got out, and this is what I'm saying. Now I missed it a lot before I got out, and the reason why I say that is because nothing's the same. Everybody's like, it's not like it was when I came in. It's not going to be like it better not fucking be like it was when you came in. Shit changes. Technology changes. People change. Everything changes. You want to piss and moan about junior troops right now? I wonder what troops thought that were fighting in World War II thought about fucking hippies. My mind's blown. Like, we're always going to change, man. You know, so I miss my old ways because I'm old school, you know, and that's the way it was. You know, and the cool thing is it always makes me feel good when you guys still hit me up and ask for advice or to come up and talk to some junior troops and shit. I love doing that, man. Because, you know, fuck it. I like shopping at the exchange. But no, it does change like all the time. And it's good that it does, you know. So, Okinawa. Oh, I did. Yeah, Okinawa. I did like Okinawa. Okinawa was fun, man. I spent a lot of time there. Did my first deployment was there, and I did the Iwasi Seawall there, and I think Derek Schmitty, my very first crew leader, is putting together like it's supposed to be, I think, September now. There's a thing going on. Hit him up, but It's probably going to be like a reunion of all kinds of people that were. It started off just for a reunion of the wall, but I think it turned into NMCB5 reunion. It's getting weird. I don't know. Hit up Schmitty, but it's going to be fun. And so if you can do that, go for it. But yeah, it's a trip. But no, my first deployment was there, and my last deployment was there. So I thought it was really cool, was because I was a shithead, man. Like but the thing was, I could back it up, and then I was very fortunate enough to be able to cause enough trouble, but I knew my job, and you can't do that anymore because now things stick. I mean, now that we hit the digital age, things don't go away. You know what I mean? It's fucking you. Thank God, and I've had several conversations with several people that thank God there was no digital age back in the day, because now that shit's fucking permanent, man. If you do something wrong, it's there forever. It's in a hard drive something. I don't know about you, but I did kind of like accidentally lose pages from DORs while I went from one company to another company, because that's just how you did it when you're 19 years old and 20 years old, and it happens, man. So don't even sweat it. The thing is like, for me though, I thought was really cool was my first project was in 96, 97 time frame. Like I was saying, it was at the Wasi seawall. We were building the wall. And then my last deployment was the 15-16 deployment. I was at my first one was the MCB5, last one was the MCB3, right? And then so Pete Bonenbacher took me out to the wall, and then I got a chance to actually walk on the wall. It was like 20 years. It was like, wow. Just to see this, the wall that we busted our ass on, and then and just, it wasn't just me. I mean, there was like several battalions just did a lot of work, a lot of heart and soul, and like, if you spent one day on that place, you feel like you personally owned part of it, and it was really cool. It was kind of neat just to see that this impact of something that we did is still there many and many years later, and that felt pretty cool. So yeah, first of Okinawa, last Okinawa. And I would go back to Okinawa again in a heartbeat, especially like a USO tour or something like that. And the cool thing, like if you're going there now, it's nothing like it used to be. And I'm sorry to break the hearts of people that were there, back in the 90s, because like we had like, you go out gate 2 and you had just nonstop clubs on the left and on the right and all kinds of cool places where you could go and you can party and you have all kinds of great stuff, and it was just like nonstop, and it was cool too, because it was just like like when you're a kid and you walk into Walmart and you see a kid from 3rd grade and you're in 3rd grade and you're like, dude, what's up? Hey, what's up, man? Let's say, when you see that, that's exactly what it was kind of like, because you see your other friends, you're like, oh, this is so fucking cool. But that's what you see, like all these different clubs. So, and then next, you're working on different bases. You're in Hanson, Schwab, Fatima, Lester, Courtney, whatever. You're bouncing around Okinawa and you're seeing Marines. You're making friends with all these other cats, and then you run into them all over the place. And that's how it used to be. Now it's like you go out and it's like half the places are shut down. There's a lot more rules and restrictions and stuff like that. But the thing is this. There's so much to do than just get fucking shit faced. I wish I would have known that my first couple of years in the military, because the place is beautiful, man. There's so many places you can go, so many things to check out, and then that's the thing too. There's like a lot of like things, go diving, all that other fun stuff. I'm sure you guys already know the whole boring spiel, but I'm telling you what, get the fuck out there, go check it out. Don't just stay in the barracks and hate yourself and they'd be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Because you're just going to kill yourself, man. Not literally, but I mean, it's not worth fucking sitting on your ass and not getting out and doing things. My regret, yeah, I do have, I won't really call it regrets, because I wouldn't know these things now. I mean, I won't call them regrets. I'll call them painful lessons. You know what I mean? Because I don't really regret much. I honestly, I don't think I regret anything, I regret one thing, but I ain't talking about it. But nah, but there's some like fucking, but there's some painful lessons. Like the first couple times you're in Okinawa, man, or Guam or Puerto Rico or Spain or whatever, and you're fucking, you go to a lot of these countries, you're legally not allowed to drink in the United States, so my thing was is that, being the wall was my first deployment, and I'm 19 years old, and I'm hanging out with all these cats that are fucking hard workers. I'm trying to impress them and shit like that because that's what you do, It's just you're like, yeah, I want them to think I'm part of the crew, and I was, I held my fucking weight, I held my liquor, I fucking did that. But the problem was, I would run my mouth and I'd get into a lot of fights, and I would start a lot of shit. I really wouldn't start a lot of shit. I'd finish it, or I'm obviously doing the comedy thing now because I'm quick-witted, so I was always good at talking shit, and that's the thing. Like, I pride myself on good luck trying to beat me on that, but so usually, like, when it comes to the point where you out talk somebody, then they want to fight, and that's where I would get into it. And a lot of times too, I was having so much fun making everybody laugh where I should have just had my mouth shut and my eyes open. And that's another thing too, is like, I think I wouldn't say it's a regret, because I'm glad I did it. Just so that I learned my lesson. So I know how valuable keeping your mouth shut and your eyes open is now. And that's helped me so much in every other career and every other aspect. And what I think's problematic now for the junior guys, and I love you fucking guys, man. Thanks for getting after it and doing what you do. But what I think's problematic now is that a lot of people forget what they were like when they were fucking 19, 20, 21, whatever. You forget what you're like right then, because you're really not done growing up and figuring out who the fuck you are, And we're holding these guys accountable at a level that they would later in their career, like right away. And that's really hurting them. And like I said before, we're an accordion force. We come, we go. And that's not just the Seabees. That's the entire military. So it's like it comes, it expands, it contracts, and that's how it goes. So when it's time to get rid of people, that's one of the first things they do is like, oh, who's problematic? Well, realistically, the guys that are problematic are probably the ones that you would like to keep around a little bit longer. And the reason why I say that is because they learned their fucking lesson. You know what I'm saying? They fucked up. They're the ones that are going to be like, all right, cool. Because it always sucks. Like, I wore the red badge of courage. I was on restriction. A lot of people fucked up too. But the thing is like, when you fuck up, you you're fucked up. You're paying for it every day. And then you got some guy who's a fucking little bitch who's going to treat you like shit because you're fucked up. It's like, dude, come on. We are all fucked up. We all do dumb shit. It happens. It's just part of life. Let it go. But learn from it. So do I have any regrets? No. But I've had a lot of hard lessons I've learned. And most of it was just keeping your mouth shut and your eyes open, And then don't want to get kicked out. Let me try to figure out what it is. Okay, cool. Don't ever forget who the fuck you are. Don't forget where you came from. Don't ever fucking forget that. Because you can't change it, man. Why change it? Just improve it, And also, don't treat, not to be preachy, but that's why we're here, right? Don't treat it like a competition. Treat it like golf, man. Treat it all like golf. I treat comedy like golf. I treat stand-up comedy just like I treat golf. I go to a comedy club with my friends, and I treated the military like golf, even though I hate golf because my dad crammed it down my throat too much. Whole nother story. But with golf, here's it is. You're against a course. You're not playing the people. You know what I mean? Like, fuck what they're doing. We're all on the same fairway. We're all playing along. And that's it. Just treat it just like that. So if you can do that, you're fucking fine. How am I doing, the Todd? Am I okay? Okay, buddy. So, back to the whole golf thing. All right, so this is why I say it's like golf. When you go out to the fucking fairway, you take your tools with you. It's just like anything else. You get ready for it. Sometimes you chip, sometimes you putt, and that's basically getting your shit going, right? So you're figuring out what the fuck you need to do. So that's just like staying in your lane. People say that a lot, whatever. It's the people said that so goddamn much, it's lost its meaning. You know what I'm saying? Which totally sucks because stay in your lane actually meant something pretty cool once upon a time. Now just kind of stay in your lane. It's like, fuck, dude, go fuck yourself. But no, but for real, man, like when you go and you're golfing, you're just on your own thing. You do your own course, and that's that. You're good. But if you start worrying about how well the other person's putting and driving, drive for show, putt for dough, and if you're worried about how they're going to affect, the only thing you got to worry about really in golf is the fucking course. What's the weather like? What's going on? And as much as I don't worry about playing, as much as I hate golf, the rules of golf apply so much to the military, to stand-up comedy, to just about anything, especially if you're doing something independently. And you just got to worry about, hey, man, I got to get I want to make sure this is my score, keep it as low as possible. And that's it. Get yourself through it, man. So what else you got for me, huh? I'll tell you, it's crazy. It's a lot of fun, man. the whole, I love doing comedy. What's that? Yeah. All right. So yeah, okay. So it's the podcast itself is called Civilianization. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, all that other shit. I've had some really cool people on. I've had like a couple different Master Chiefs I served with on there. Dougie Heiner's on there. Austin Leadham. Fucking the dude Ben McLaughlin was on. Like a lot of cool people. I had Freeze Love. I haven't released it yet, but Freeze Love has a song. If you don't know him, he opened for Charlie Murphy, Donnell Rollins. He was a headlining comic, good buddy of mine. And anyways, he's got some songs I put on there too, so that's cool. So where can you find it? Oh, you can find it on iTunes, Stitcher. It's on Spotify. Somebody said they couldn't find it on Spotify, but I'm getting feedback from Spotify saying that people are watching or whatever. But yeah, it's on Instagram, Twitter, not Instagram. I'm at Josh96 O'Brien on Instagram. No, but it's on all the other websites and stuff like that. You can find it there. Just actually, you know what? Type in Civilianization Podcast and it'll pull it up like right now, and then go for it. Do it, and then there you go. So, yeah, it goes quick, man. I answered that already. What I do miss, and okay, this is what I meant by like, I missed it before I retired. All right, so yeah. So like, it changes, it mutates. It should evolve. I mean, the gear evolves, people evolve, society evolves, so on and so forth. Like, what was socially acceptable back in 1996 isn't socially acceptable in 2019, and it wasn't, what was socially acceptable in 1945 was not acceptable in fucking 1965. Shit evolves, man. So yeah, it changes. Of course, I'm gonna miss the way it was when I went in, but everybody's gonna miss the way it was when they first in it. And also, over time, your fucking mind mutates shit. You fucking you sift it out. You either only remember the worst or the best. Look, I love battalion life, but battalion life was just like having a bitchy girlfriend. And the reason why I say that is because it's like, I love this girl to death, and then I go and I hang out with her, and I'm like, why the fuck am I with this bitch? And then you leave, and then you're like, God damn, I miss her, man. I can't wait to get back. Because your mind fucks with you all the time. But when you step back, you just kind of isolate the bullshit. You isolate the gray. You see a lot more of the black and the white. Like, this is what I miss because it was good. This is what I miss because it was bad. So yeah, everything's either going to be way worse than you had it, or way better than you had it, and in your head, you're always competing with yourself. So. Oh man, I love how you guys are going back and forth on your fucking rate. EO is better than whatever. So, all right, for those that don't know, EO is the only thing lower than an E1. No, an equipment operator. All right, so this is what I loved about being an alpha company with you motherfuckers, man, because I got a lot of CBs watching this, so thanks for hanging. All right, so I could have rapped a while ago. I'm glad you guys are here. So, no, I love the whole shit talk between like Alpha Company and Bravo Company and Charlie Company, blah, blah, blah. But the thing was this is how I got a job at a rock station. So you guys all know. when I was in 40 and Art Master, thank you, wherever you are. I gotta say thanks, bud, because I made first class like right after I checked in. I was supposed to be in E5 doing the steel shop, and then I made first class E6. So next thing you know, I got bumped up, and he was not letting me go. So instead of being the steel shop guy, because we had an MR and an HT already there, I stayed and I was the Alpha Company safety guy. So I had to go through all the classes. But I had to go through regular MSHA and all that other stuff, and then or OSHA, and I was trying to get into some MSHA classes and all that other shit. But anyways, um, but I wanted to get the licenses, man. So like I was like, I think it was Ralston was the one who was like kind of helped me out. But I did all the equipment operator shit that I could because I didn't want to be a window licker. I didn't want to just be like a fucking useless area driver. Like if we're going places, I want to like do shit. So that's what I did. And the cool part was I operated, not drive. Okay, I get it, yos. All right, fuck it. It's not drive, it's operate. It's not a brick, it's a block. Okay, get it, whatever. So, anyways, I started doing that, and next thing you know, I did that, move on, blah blah blah. Now I'm a civilian, and I'm waking up at 4 p.m. every day, and thinking I need to do something, with myself. So I went to a thing for 95.5 KLOS, and I sat down with my boss. It was Cahal. And he was asking me, he's like, hey, so I see that you're in your thing you drove you drove big trucks. And I was like, oh yeah, man, I did that. It sucks. I think driving trucks suck. And well, we got an RV, and I was like, oh, that's not big, dude. And if you've ever operated or driven an RV, it's nothing like a semi truck with 2 Humvees and a light plant behind you. That sucks. I'm sorry, it does. But you're fucking driving an RV, dude. I'm like, that's nothing. And the turn radius of a fucking RV is amazing. So, anyways, I ended up getting that gig. And so I now every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm like, where's Waldo of Rock and Roll Radio? I drive to fucking where the hell they want me to go, and they hand out concert tickets like Disturbed or fucking whatever. And it's really fun. It's really cool, and I love it. And it's pretty cool because and it all started because when I was an Alpha Company, I just didn't want to be a window licker. So yeah, I talk shit, but that's what I love about it. Because like it's like fuck you Alpha, fuck you Charlie, fuck you. Well, Bravo don't do anything anyway, so fuck them. And just all kinds of crazy shit talk. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, who's a Seabee? Yeah, who's a Seabee? And it's funny. It's like family. Like. Yeah, we'd fucking fight Alpha and Charlie, fight and blah, blah, blah. And who cares? Bravo. They're just playing with their air conditioning anyway. So you just kind of like, they're suffering from shade sickness, So you have all this other crazy shit going on. But the second somebody's fucking with you guys, oh man. So Honduras. We're in Honduras, and like, you got Marines and Seabees, and we're together for 90 days. 90 days, dude. No drinking. Drinking secured on this detail. So we're supposed to be sitting here like 3 fucking months, no alcohol whatsoever. And bad idea. And the cool thing about it was like when we were there, it was like what do you call that? What's that? Big Brother? Is that the show? Where it's like the people live inside the house or whatever. And it felt like being Big Brother in a tent camp area, because it's like some cow farm in the middle of nowhere. And inside of it, it's our thing. We had our circus tents, and they don't have power. We're in the Somali Mountains, and they never seen like lights at night for the most part, So we got a tent camp going on and all kinds of crazy shit. And here we are, just playing dominoes, talking shit, throwing beer bottles at each other, near beer bottles at each other. And just fucking like duels and fake shit. And they were just like standing watching us the whole time, and it got cool. It got crazy, but it was fun. And we had Marines with us. They were the 8th out of Lejeune, and one of them I happened to grow up with, Veliquette, man, Brian Veliquette. He and I went to the same high school. I think he's a year older than me or whatever. I worked with his little brother at Magic Walk in Fremont, Ohio, and it was cool because like, middle of fucking nowhere, and I'm with a homie I grew up with. He was my homie. His little brother was my homie, so he's practically family anyway, just because situations, So it was a trip, And so when you got guys have been shit talking and together for 3 months, no drinking, you have a night where you get back, you're about ready to come back to the United States. And we go to Soto Cano Air Force Base, and we're just sitting there and minding our own, getting shit ready, going to their PX, and just getting civilized, because we just lived intense, dude. Like, I mean, intense. It wasn't intense. We lived intense. And we had our water flown in from helicopters as a fucking big ass bladder that was like hanging from a it was pretty neat too. I mean, one time they went to bring it, and they put it down, and the bladder, it was a round thing. So like when it landed, it fucking rolled for a while too. It was funny just watching a bunch of people chase this thing down. It wasn't going that fast that your imagination said it did, so it was pretty easy to catch up with. But we freaking, it was pretty haggard, man. It's pretty weird living circumstances. So back to Soto Cano Air Force Base. We're all there. We got done getting our shit ready, and they're like, you know what? You guys did good. You know what? You guys should go drink tonight. So we're getting in there, and we're just fucking getting hammered. Next thing you know, a couple people start pushing each other and just shit talking, and boys will be boys and girls will be girls, and some people start punching each other. It gets a little rough, and then next thing you know, it's assholes and elbows, and everybody's like throwing down. And it's like the Seabees and the Marines. We were just hanging out with each other, and the next day we're best friends again. But during this time frame, we had some shit we had to work out, And if people, I miss fighting. They should just let you go a little bit. But anyways, another story. All right, so they fucking started scrapping, and unfortunately, you're on an Air Force base. Then the Air Force decided they want to split us up, and the Army. So, which is not good, because we're really friends that are just blowing off a little bit of steam, and next thing you know, the whole place turns into a brawl. Now, I'm not saying I'm supporting this at all, because this is circa 98. 90, yeah, this is 97, 98 deployment. So this is a long time ago. Things change, circumstances, and we're talking fucking 20 years ago. Jesus Christ. So it's definitely not it's not how it works nowadays in the military, but it gets kind of crazy. But the fun part was like after the whole thing, the dust settled, and we all made sure we had all our teeth and stuff like that, and we'd return them if we didn't. It was cool. It was just like, all right, well, glad that was over with. But anyways, we didn't get medals and fucking ribbons or whatever. We're supposed to get some kind of awards. I don't know, who gives a shit. But we're supposed to do something, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because you know what? That means I got to spend $6 more on the goddamn thing next time I get my medals mailed. So fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. But actually, I'm kind of serious. Yeah. So it was good times. Honduras, it was great. I miss it. I missed a lot of people. I guess a lot of things too is like every once in a while I think about these memories and you think about these people. If you track them down here on Facebook or whatever, and just give them a call, and a lot of things. This is the parts of our lives that we lived, and nobody will understand the times that we spend away. Nobody will understand the loneliness that we feel, that we, because there's nobody there except for us and each other, and that's what we kind of get through, and that's how we get through it. So that's one loneliness people don't understand. Another loneliness too is like when you get out and you're done, you're not alone, but you feel it. But you're not, and that's another problem when you separate from the military, or you just transfer from your people. Another thing too, like, and this is not bashing on anybody. This is nobody's fault, and it's not even my own. It's just, it was just really weird, and it kind of led me into comedy. It was I was in Port Hueneme, and I was staying back on as an instructor. And I had surgery and stuff like that while I was as an instructor. But the thing is, everybody was married and had kids and shit, and I didn't have nobody. And it just, you're like, God damn, because at 9 o'clock, everybody goes and they does their own thing. It's just, and my battalion left. 40's gone. I was a part of 40 at the time. And it's just kind of like, wow, I had surgery and nobody stopped by to say hi or anything like that. But that's, so, and I'm not complaining to anybody. I'm just saying that, and I didn't feel bad I didn't feel poor me, woe is me. What was just a lesson to me that I should never let anybody feel alone like that. You know what I mean? So and the thing is too is like people got shit going on. So if people, I get it, and you should get it too. But at the same time, it's just you don't ever fucking let your people be alone, man. All right, so do. All right, man. So, it is getting close to my time. I'm right here at the good old world famous comedy store. All right, so just so if you guys don't know, I'm recording this at the comedy store in the basement here. It's a fucking awesome place. If you're in Port Hueneme, come on down, come hang out, hit me up, text me, whatever. Come do that shit. Buy this comedy store merch. I kind of live with Merch Girl, so I have to plug it anyway. Hey guys, for real, any questions you have, concerns you have, hit me up, send me up in my inbox. I'm at Josh96 O'Brien. My fucking I'm on the easiest place to get a hold of me really is Instagram, and I'm feeling bad because Todd's sitting there in the room next door, probably like, hurry the fuck up, Josh. I'm trying to go home. I need to smoke a joint or something. But all right, so folks, for real, man, you're not worthless, dude. You might feel it, you might look it, but you're not. And just fucking have fun, be you, do the right thing, even when people aren't looking, all that other fun bullshit. But anyways, hey, I just want to say one thing, and that's it, is for all those I followed, thanks for making me a better leader. For all those I've led, thanks for making me a better person. It's been grand. Go to Civilianization, check it out. I will fucking see you guys later.